Good morning, everybody. I'm over here at the Guam Daily Post. 14-year oil spill becoming one of the worst in history. Now, you guys are probably thinking it's the BP oil spill down in the Gulf, but it is not. Okay. New Orleans, an oil spill that has been quietly leaking millions of barrels into the Gulf of Mexico has gone unplugged for so long that it now verges on becoming one of the worst offshore disasters in U.S. history. Between 300 and 700 barrels of oil per day have been spewing from a site 12 miles off the Louisiana coast since 2004, when an oil production platform owned by Taylor Energy sank in a mudslide. It kind of actually tilted and then just kind of sank, underwater, which was triggered by Hurricane Ivan. Many of the wells have not been capped, and federal officials estimate that the spill could continue through this century, with no fix in sight. The Taylor offshore spill is threatening to overtake BP's Deep Horizon disaster as the largest ever. As oil continues to spoil the Gulf, the Trump administration is proposing the largest expansion of leases for the oil and gas industry, with the potential to open nearly the entire outer continental shelf to offshore drilling. Wow. Okay, that includes the Atlantic coast, where drilling hasn't happened in more than a century, and of course, where hurricanes hit with double the regularity of the Gulf. That's right, see that? Hurricanes and the Gulf. As we all can see, lots going on down there in that Gulf with the weather. Alright, hurricanes, tropical storms, whatever. This oil in the Gulf is being kicked up into the storm and coming down in rain on the land. So be careful. Alright? They are stirring up an oil, plus Corexit. They're stirring up an oil Corexit soup right now. Expansion plans come despite fears that the offshore oil industry is poorly regulated, you think? And that the planet Earth needs to decrease fossil fuel, love this one, decrease fossil fuels to combat climate change. First of all, there is no such thing as fossil fuels. We need to disperse of that myth that we are running our vehicles off of dead dinosaurs. I mean, common sense, folks. And fossils, they can only be found 18,000 feet down into the earth. Yet, they do deep drilling that drills down deeper than 40,000 feet. Okay? Oil is basically kind of like Earth's blood. Alright? It does regenerate itself. We don't have gas shortages. Okay? That's just a hoax to charge people more money for gas. Okay? The Earth is constantly producing the oil, the gas, whatever is fueling your car. Okay? Not a dinosaur. To combat climate change. Okay, well that's bullshit. Alright? Man-made climate change? Yeah, geoengineering. But that's not the point of this article. As well as the knowledge that 14 years after Ivan took down Taylor's platform, the broken wells are releasing so much oil that researchers need respirators to study the damage. That's pretty bad, guys. I don't think people know that we have this ocean in the United States that's filled with industry, said Scott Eustace, an ecologist for the Gulf Restoration Network, as his 6-seat plane circled the spill site on a flyover last summer, which would be that, I'm assuming. Okay. Yeah, this was taken April 28th. This is posted 2 hours ago. So this was this year. Okay. A couple months ago. Hold on. My cat's trying to get into my shirt. Hold on. On the horizon, a forest of oil platforms rose up from the Gulf's waters, and all that is left is the doomed Taylor platform. Of the doomed Taylor platform are rainbow-covered oil slicks that are often visible for miles. You cannot imagine similar development in the Atlantic, where the majority of coastal state governors, lawmakers, attorneys general, and residents have aligned against the administration's proposal. The Taylor energy spill is largely unknown outside Louisiana because of the company's effort to keep it secret. Okay? So, this was only known in Louisiana. That's what this article says. Because of the company's effort to keep it secret, in the hopes of protecting its reputation and proprietary information about its operations, according to a lawsuit that eventually forced the company to reveal its cleanup plan. The spill was hidden for 6 years before environmental watchdog groups stumbled on oil slicks while monitoring the BP Deep Horizon disaster a few miles north of the Taylor site in 2010. The Interior Department is fighting an effort by Taylor Energy to walk away from the disaster. The company sued Interior in federal court, seeking the return of about $450 million left in trust it established with the government to fund its work to recover part of the wreckage and locate wells buried under 100 feet of muck. So, very interesting. Okay. This is an aerial image of an oil slick in the Gulf of Mexico that was taken April 28th this year. That's bad, guys. Okay. And they're trying to kick up. They're doing all this hurricanes, these storms. This is not good because all this junk, all this oil slick junk and the Corexit are going to be picked up into the storm rains and dispersed through a lot of the United States. So, just a heads up. Alright? Just a heads up. 14-year oil spill becoming one of the worst in U.S. history. Alright, everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.